In today's video, I'm going to show you how I resurface headlights to make them look new again. Let's get started with the process.
You to tell me what to do. I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon, and I'll do it because it's what I want to do. Because all these opinions and all these...
Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. So today I'm going to be showing you how I resurface these headlights because they have a lot of oxidation and they just don't look that good. Now, typically I would just wet sand these down and buff them out because that is one of the methods you can do to making these look a lot better. I'm actually going to use 2K clear and add a pearl tint to it that was sent to me by a subscriber to my P.O. box. I just wanted to thank Sinformant for sending that. Really appreciate it, and I'm going to put it to good use. So I'm going to actually put a little pearl tint into the clear coat that I put over these headlights. Now this headlight's not nearly as bad, but it does have some oxidation starting, so we're going to try to remove as much of that as possible, and I'll show you the process I use to do it. One of the first steps to doing this process is to tape everything off. I like to just use brown paper. You can get a roll of it at Ace Hardware for like $10. Alright, now that you've got it all taped and papered up, depending on the condition of your headlights, this is where you're going to want to get the right grits. This one is really bad, so I'm going to go ahead and use 600 wet sanding and using a foam pad from AutoZone, a foam sanding block. Now typically I'd recommend starting at 1,000 and working your way up to 2,000, but given the condition, I'll start with 6. So basically we're just going to sand. Make sure to constantly dip it in the water. Alright, now that you can see it's definitely hazier than it was. We do still have some work to do though. Up here looks pretty good, but right here there's actually a transition. It looked like someone might have clear coated these in the past. I'm going to go ahead and knock this down until it's really smooth. Still using the 600 grit sandpaper, and once we get closer, then we can step it up. Now that it's nice and smooth, we're going to move up to 1,000 grit, and then we're going to get ready to clear it. Alright, so after all that wet sanding, they look a lot better. We're going to have to clear them still. But there are spots that looks like it's not fixable. But I'm going to go ahead and retape this up since it got damaged during the wet sanding, and then we'll shoot some clear over it and see how it does. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing to this real quick, and then we'll tape it off and spray it with some clear. Alright, so I got the passenger side done, and as you can see here in the plastic itself is destroyed. I don't know how to get that out. I've never actually ran into that problem before, so this must be some really cheap plastic or something on these headlights. So we're going to go ahead and clear these anyways and see exactly what happens. But it typically doesn't happen when you resurface headlights, so it should look about like this the whole way through, but not that, because that's plastic that's actually destroyed. I have sanded on that spot for quite a while and nothing happened, so that's got to be in the plastic itself. But I'm going to go ahead and tape and paper everything off and we'll get to shooting some clear. Alright, so I'll be using this 2K clear right here. This is high temp activator since it is hot here in Texas currently. I'm going to be using that, and we'll be doing it a 4-to-1 ratio like the gallon says. It says to do 4-to-1, 2 medium wet coats, and a flash time of 5 to 10 minutes. Dry times out of dust 30 minutes, air dry at 70 degrees for 8 hours, or force dry at 140 degrees for 30 minutes. This will be the force dry because of how hot it is here, so it should take about 30 to 45 minutes to be fully dry. Alright, so I will be adding this pearl into the clear. I'm not going to use very much, probably just a little pinch of it since it's only a couple ounces. But basically just take a little tiny bit, sprinkle it in, and that should be plenty. Now this pearl will give it a cool look and effect to it. This was actually sent to me by a subscriber, Sinformant. Thanks so much for sending this. We'll see how this works. Guys, wear gloves, by the way. You don't want to get this all over you. Be using the same screwdriver I used to mix most of my paints up since I don't have a stir stick. I'm just gonna mix up all that pearl into the clear. If anyone else wants to send me anything, my P.O. box will be on the screen and in the description. That way you can send me any of the fan mail that you want, and I'll receive it at that P.O. box. Alright, now that it's mixed up, make sure to use a paint strainer and strain the clear coat into the gun. Alright, now we're going to go out front and put it on the car. Alright, so I'm adjusting the settings, gonna apply the clear coat. I have the pressure set at 37 psi in this Harbor Freight gun, running on an 8-gallon compressor. Make sure to wear a respirator and then put 2 medium wet coats on. Alright, now I'm going to do the passenger side. Now I'm going to do coat number 2 on the passenger side headlight. So at this particular spot, the clear coat actually dripped out of the gun, and I actually sat back and was like, what am I going to do? Since there wasn't much I could do, I just kept applying the clear coat and hope for the best. Alright, the headlights have been drying for about 30 minutes. I'm about to remove all the tape. As you can see, it looks really good, nice and reflective. On the passenger side, it dripped out of the gun, out of the very top of the lid. So that has a little run in it right there, but the rest turned out pretty nice. And it has this really nice pearl effect to it. So it looks really good, looks a lot better than they used to. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the paper and tape and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, here's the headlights after the 2K clear, and it does have a nice pearl effect to it. I'm probably just gonna leave this run here for now. I can probably wet sand this out and buff over it later on, but they look 1,000 times better than they used to. Even the driver's side looks a lot better than it used to. It looks really good. Now here's the before headlight and the after. Huge difference. You can use the Spray Max 2K Clear, which is like $20 a can. I'll have a link in the description where you can buy that. That stuff is just as good as this out of the gun. Since I already have a gun and a compressor, I decided I was just going to do that, and I already had the clear coat. But there are many ways to resurface and restore headlights. If you don't want to use this method, definitely check out on YouTube. There's a lot of people who restore headlights and show how to do it without painting. But the painting is the best way to get it done and make it look the best. I just wanted to give a shout out to Speedokote Refinish Network, which is my friend Marco. I just wanted to say thanks for the tips. He has a pretty good YouTube channel. His link to his channel will be in the description below. But yeah, that's basically how I like to restore the headlights and give it a better appearance. This works on many different vehicles. The basic steps is 600, 800, and 1,000. That's usually where I like to draw the line, is at 1,000. But if you're gonna go and buff them out, you need to go to 2,000 and higher. But this works for me. I'm happy with it. So I hope you guys like the results. I mean, yeah, there is some screw ups in it, but I'm human. That's what happens. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who's donated and sent stuff to the P.O. Box. I will have my P.O. Box again in the description. If you want to send some stuff, it helps me get videos out, so we have videos like this. If it wasn't for Sinformant sending me the Pearl Flake, I probably wouldn't have used the gun to clear coat these. But I'm really happy that I did use the gun, and it turned out beautifully. So thanks for watching the video, guys. If you want to donate, link will be in the description. There will be a P.O. Box there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.
Fight back.